It began with a simple observation. A moment of stillness in a remote sun-drenched valley. A geological survey team was working. They were mapping the terrain. They were not looking for art. They were not looking for history. Their job was to understand the rock formations. One team member paused, wiping sweat from his brow. His eyes caught something unusual on a large, flat slab of sandstone. At first it seemed like natural erosion, just scratches, the kind of marks wind and water leave over centuries. But something about the pattern was not random. It felt deliberate. It felt intentional. He knelt for a closer look. The sun was high, the light was harsh. He used his hand to cast a shadow over the stone. The lines became clearer. They were not scratches. They were cuts. Deep, precise grooves carved into the hard surface. Some lines were straight, others curved into complex shapes. He called over a colleague. For a few minutes they stood in silence. They traced the lines with their fingers. They spoke in low voices. They knew this was not geology. This was something else. This was a discovery. The discovery was made in a place few people ever visit. It is a dry, secluded valley, cradled by low-slung hills. The landscape is sparse, hardy shrubs, coarse grasses. For most of the year, the only sounds are the wind and the cry of a distant hawk. The air is clear, the sky is vast. It is a place that feels untouched by time. This made the discovery all the more startling. It was found beneath a shallow layer of dirt and small rocks. An ancient landslide may have covered it. This act of nature protected it from the elements for centuries. It kept the art hidden. The team that found it was led by Dr. Aris Thorne, a geologist. He was charting mineral deposits. His team was trained to read the story of the Earth in layers of rock. They were not looking for human history, but they found it. The moment they realized what lay before them, their perspective shifted. The silent valley was not empty after all. It had been a home. It had been a place of meaning. The area was considered empty. It was not known for significant archaeological finds. The official maps showed nothing. The history books were silent, but the stone did not lie. The marks were old. They were covered in a patina of age. Dust and mineral deposits had settled in the grooves. This was not a modern hoax. This was authentic. The team leader was called. He too was skeptical at first, but seeing the stone with his own eyes changed his mind. He pulled out a camera. He began documenting the find, meticulously. Each photograph was a piece of a puzzle. The team's mission for the day changed instantly. The geological survey was put on hold. The site became an archaeological scene. They marked off the area with yellow tape. They did not touch the stone further. They understood the need for caution. The first rule of a discovery is to preserve it. They were not trained archaeologists, but they knew enough to step back. They knew to call in the experts. The sun began to set. It cast long shadows across the valley. The carved lines seemed to deepen in the fading light. A mystery had been uncovered, and it was waiting to be solved. The art itself is unlike anything seen before in this region. It is a unique visual language. The main features are a combination of deep, incised lines and stippled dots. The lines form geometric patterns, circles, spirals, chevrons. There are figures that look like stylized people and stylized animals. The faces are simple, circles for eyes and a single line for a mouth. The animals are more detailed, deer, birds, perhaps a large cat. The style is not realistic. It is abstract. It is symbolic. It seems designed to convey an idea, not to capture a perfect image. The material is a hard, reddish-brown sandstone common in the valley, but it is not easy to carve, dense and abrasive. Making these marks would have required significant effort and time. The carvings are remarkably well preserved. The depth has protected them from the worst erosion. In some areas, traces of pigment have been found. Tiny flecks of red ochre and black charcoal lodged deep within the lines. This suggests the art was once painted, vibrant and colorful, a stark contrast to the muted desert. One of the most intriguing aspects is the repetition of certain symbols. A specific spiral appears on multiple stones. A figure with upraised arms recurs. This suggests a shared vocabulary of symbols, a system of communication, not random doodling, deliberate and organized, belief or knowledge flowing across the rock faces, connecting panels like a single continuous narrative. The scale is impressive. Some panels are several meters wide, covered from edge to edge with intricate designs. The composition is complex. The artists had a clear vision and used the rock's shape to their advantage, a curve forming an animal's back, a fissure woven into a geometric pattern. They worked in harmony with the landscape. The stone was their canvas. How was this art made? The question is central to understanding the people who created it. The sandstone is tough. Carving it would not have been easy. The artists needed tools harder than the rock, sharpened pieces of flint and quartzite, shaped into sharp points and edges. Tools found near the site show wear, with tiny grains of sandstone embedded in their tips, strong evidence they made these carvings. Two main methods appear: incision, cutting directly into the stone with a baron-like tool, and pecking, tapping with a hammerstone to create dots and rough out forms. The lines are smooth and uniform, a high level of skill. The pecked areas add texture and subtle shading. Specialists, not amateurs, slow and laborious, days or weeks for a single panel, a significant investment of time and energy. What was the purpose of this art? Why invest so much effort? We cannot know for sure. There are no written records, but experts can offer theories, from the art itself and comparisons with other ancient cultures. Leading idea, ritual, or religious purpose. The upraised arms figure may be a deity or spirit. Spirals might mean the cycle of life, death, rebirth, a sacred place for ceremonies, harvests, hunts. Another idea, an astronomical calendar. The sun, the moon, the stars mattered for agriculture and timing festivals. Dr. Elena Vance found lines aligning with the winter solstice sunrise. A third theory, a map, lines and symbols as rivers, mountains, key resources, animals marking hunting grounds, geometric patterns as territories or migration routes, a collective memory bank. These theories aren't mutually exclusive. The art could be all of these: religious text, celestial calendar, and map, woven together. A code, a system for storing and sharing complex information, not simple or primitive, rich, sophisticated intellectual lives, seeking their place in the cosmos. To understand the significance, we listen to the experts, archaeologists, historians, scientists.
Dr. Kenji Tanaka visited the site. He was stunned. "The style is completely unique," he wrote, showing similarities, yet unlike anything encountered.
The age is critical. Optically stimulated luminescence can determine when sediment was last exposed to sunlight. Samples beneath the stones were tested. The results were astonishing. Buried around 3,000 years ago, the Bronze Age.
One of the oldest and most complex art sites in the region, pushing back the timeline for sophisticated symbolic expression, as Dr. Thorne explained.
Red ochre did not come from nearby. The closest source is over 100 miles away. A crucial fact: evidence of trade and exchange networks. They were connected, not isolated. Long-distance travel or trade brought materials for their art, a dynamic, interconnected, ancient world. Consensus. Global importance. Not just a local treasure, a part of our shared human heritage. International bodies and the national government are planning long-term preservation, protecting while allowing careful study.
"We have a responsibility to be good stewards," said Dr. Vance. "It has survived for 3 millennia. It must survive many more." The voices of the experts speak in unison. This discovery changes what we know about the past.
Modern technology is playing a crucial role in unlocking the secrets of this ancient art. 3-dimensional laser scanning records millions of points, creating a precise digital replica, accurate to fractions of a millimeter. Researchers study every groove without touching the original. Changing light to reveal subtle details and faint tool marks, the direction of strokes, the planning beneath designs. Shared worldwide, a scientist in Tokyo can examine the stone as if standing in the valley. Kork stinks, so preltins, in the now gerbra kurkur, songi now nam bing. And din frau dich researchen dao. Then their research X-ray fluorescence analyzes stone and pigments non-destructively, confirming ochre and charcoal, tracing elements to pinpoint origins. DNA from microscopic plant remains helps reconstruct the ancient environment. Infukstodi gausa sitben saf pseudo. Foods, medicines, ritual plants. Each data point adds a layer to our understanding. Technology gives us a new window into their world, helping us read the story they wrote in stone. This discovery is more than a scientific curiosity. It has profound cultural and human value. For the local community, it is a tangible link to ancestors, a source of pride. For generations, elders told stories of the old ones. Now there is physical proof. The art validates oral traditions and deepens identity. Community stewards are being trained. Replicas and 3D models create exhibits. Children visit, learn archaeology and the importance of preserving heritage. The art inspires curiosity. A new generation asking who we are and where we come from, sparking lifelong interests in history, science, and art. Their world had no electricity, no internet, no modern medicine, yet they were not so different. They felt the need to create, to leave a mark, to ponder big questions and their place in the universe. In the end, this discovery is like opening a door to a room sealed for 3,000 years. We cannot see everything. The light is dim, the shadows are long, but shapes emerge. We see people with complex thoughts and deep feelings, a rich culture, art that navigates their world and connects with the cosmos, speaking to the future. That future is us. Study will continue for years. New technologies will emerge. Each test, each analysis, another key unlocking a little more of the mystery. Local elders' voices provide another kind of light. Their knowledge helps interpret the symbols and meaning behind the marks.